Imagine, you're stranded on the island of Madagascar. In the dark cloak of night, you can hear the faint rustling of leaves. As you walk further into the forest, you spot something that sends chills up your spine, a pair of glowing eyes that peer through the shadows. As you fumble for your flashlight, you soon shed light on the mysterious creature. It turns out, no, this isn't some monstrous creature of the night, but a harmless mouse lemur currently on a mission to find food. Although this might sound like that one scene from Madagascar, the mouse lemur truly is one of the many wonders of the primate order. Only discovered 21 years ago, this tiny primate is actually full of big surprises. To further our understanding of the mouse lemur, we can look at physical features, social organization, dominance in relationships, and evolutionary relationships. The mouse lemur is not only the smallest lemur, but also the smallest known primate in the world. They only weigh 30 grams, which would be the equivalent of 1.058 ounces. Their body length can vary from 12 to 15 centimeters, or 4.7 to 5.9 inches. Other than being known for their small size, they have multiple other attributes that make them stand out. Mouse lemurs have large, forward-facing eyes. They are assumed to have dichromatic vision, meaning that they only see the world in blue and yellow hues. Their eyes also have a light-reflecting layer called the tapetum lucidum. This layer enhances their night vision by reflecting light back through the retina. Along with this, mouse lemurs are nocturnal creatures, meaning that they are active at night and sleep during the day. But we'll get more into that later. As for the rest of the mouse lemur's appearance, there are a few classic lemur traits that can be noticed. Their tail is long and bushy and is often longer than the rest of their body. This is because mouse lemurs use their tails for balance when moving through trees. Their ears are large, rounded, and flexible, or, to put it more scientifically, membranous, which aids them in detecting sounds of nearby predators or other fellow mouse lemurs. Short limbs with long fingers and toes that have wide pads at the tips can also be spotted on these petite primates. And fun fact, they also have a specialized toilet claw on the second toe of their hind feet for grooming fur. Mouse lemur's fur is soft to the touch and is most commonly a grayish-brown or reddish-brown, or, in some cases, depending on the species, cream-colored, with a paler underside and often a darker stripe down the back. A white stripe is often present between the eyes and down the nose. A coat of a mouse lemur is soft, dense, but not completely waterproof. Although their coats are less effective at repelling water, they are excellent at providing insulation. The fur is adapted for living in the humid and varied climates of Madagascar, including the rainy season. Mouse lemurs also have the habit of grooming each other, which has a large role in social organization. Mouse lemurs have a dispersed but complex social structure. They tend to be primarily solitary foragers, but they live in stable daytime sleeping groups, with females forming a group of up to 15 individuals, while males often sleep in pairs of 2 or smaller groups. Mouse lemurs sleep in these groups to dodge being eaten by predators such as the fossa, snakes, owls, and more. The mouse lemur has certainly figured out that there are safety in numbers, although females tend to have more dominance, hence bringing us to our third category, dominance in relationships. Females having dominance in relationships means that females get priority access to resources such as food, sleeping groups, and even choosing mates. All mouse lemurs have been observed to form strong social bonds with one another, just like most primates tend to do. They can recognize other individuals, evidenced by stable sleeping groups and regular social encounters. So, how do lemurs form these social bonds? Well, there are 2 main behaviors that have been observed by anthropologists that have concluded how these social bonds form. The largest factor is allogrooming, also referred to as mutual grooming. Although it does occur between mouse lemurs with little relation to each other, it is more frequent between mother and child. The other activity they engage in is play fighting, although it must be noted that this behavior is more typically carried out by adolescent mouse lemurs. Speaking of relationships, did you know that some parts of mouse lemurs' evolution relationships are still a mystery and continue to undergo research? This leads us to our third topic, evolutionary relationships. Evolutionary relationships are the connections between organisms that descended from a common ancestor determined by comparing their genetic and physical characteristics. Mouse lemurs are a diverse group within the Cheiriogalidae family of primates which are native to Madagascar. As stated before, their evolutionary relationships are still being researched, but current understanding places them as a distinct lineage that split from other lemurs early on, possibly after a single colonization event of Madagascar. So, now that we know more about mouse lemurs, where can we find them? And no, before you ask if you can have one as a pet, you cannot. Not just because it's illegal, but also because they are pronounced as the most endangered out of all vertebrates. They can be found roaming around Madagascar in a wide array of habitats. They do tend to thrive better in places with more selection of vegetation due to their dietary habits, which consist of insects, seeds, fruit, and small vegetables, just to name a few of their favorite cuisines. So, the next time you imagine glowing eyes in the forests of Madagascar, remember, it's not a monster, but a mouse lemur, one of the world's tiniest, most fascinating primates. Their story reminds us of how much there is to still discover and protect in our natural world.